Most women are unaware of these 5 male psychological idiosyncrasies. Walter Riso knows best. Do you know that most women miss men's most important signs of commitment, love, and future goals? Ever wondered why? Some males act deeply committed but then withdraw. Why are there also some women get gentlemen who are absolutely committed to them while doing nothing special, while others who give it their all get crumbs? I have a discovery that will change everything. What is a man's mindset? Males aren't automatically difficult or uncommitted. Most women, 97%, use unrelated maps. They're wrong about male brain function. They misread male conduct by assuming men and women handle desire, commitment, and emotion similarly. This underlying assumption is dooming potentially great relationships before they begin, according to hundreds of clinical cases and decades of psychological study. Men have distinct emotional systems than women, but this doesn't make them better or worse. Plus, after learning these 5 tricks, unfortunately, psychological factors can help you build a solid link and true commitment. But most women fail due to their wrong attitude. Indeed, this is the brutal reality. Men and women have different brains after millions of years of evolution. You unintentionally set off alarm systems that make a man want to retreat, create space, and protect himself when you try to connect emotionally with him by deep conversation, instant exposition, and constant expression of your feelings, strategies that work well with women. Additionally, you miss his true attention and commitment indications. In masculine language, these small acts show affection powerfully. Intention. It's like talking in Spanish while he speaks Mandarin. You're both confused, irritated because the other doesn't understand despite using several communication methods. However, you may know women who can get and keep men's attention. Instead of being more gorgeous, fascinating, or good at what they do, these women have instinctively or intentionally comprehended these 5 psychological truths. They collaborate with male features rather than fight them. For those who've had enough of promising but failed romances, if you want to understand men's minds, your life, if you desperately need to decode male behaviors that seem contradictory or confusing, subscribe to this channel immediately and turn on notifications. What I'm going to share with you today isn't manipulation, tricks to trap men, or mind games, but in-depth education in real male psychology based on neuroscience, evolutionary psychology, and clinical practice, alongside thousands of wedded couples. Finally knowing how to make a man feel safe enough to fall in love, to offer your utmost without losing independence or self-worth. These videos will explain why relationship counselors employ the same cliches over and over again. School and most relationship counselors don't teach relationship dynamics. Take advantage of your chance to change your life. Sharing knowledge with your contacts might turn your loneliness into a fulfilling and long-lasting relationship. Subscribe now to see male relationships clearly. To begin with, we'll examine psychology's 5 secret truths which can improve your life. You subtly interact differently with men. This psychological secret matters most. Men process emotions by action, not words. This one misperception, the most fundamental and destructive characteristic of heterosexual relationships, has caused millions of unnecessary breakups. The female emotional processing framework. Most women handle emotions by speaking aloud. We naturally want to communicate our feelings after a major life event, whether happy or sad. Talking, analyzing, and asking for help are ways to process information. A feminine brain naturally thinks this way. Early socializing allows girls to express themselves vocally and emotionally, which strengthens brain connections and makes it easier to combine feelings with words. If you want to connect emotionally with a man, it's appropriate to talk feelings, the relationship, and emotions, the masculine framework for processing emotions. However, they understand what most women don't. Most guys handle emotions through action and experience, not conversation. A man's impulse when encountering something emotionally meaningful is to do, mend, or physically achieve something rather than sit down and speak about it. Nothing wrong. Males have less emotional verbal connections in their brains, which evolved over millions of years to help them hunt, defend, and create. What if you don't understand this difference? A common relationship breaker. Woman, we must discuss our connection if we want to bond emotionally. It seems our relationship is lacking continued linking. How do you feel about us? See any development potential? Your problem? More mentally? This is an attempt to make him speak. He thinks. Unresolved emotions, a sense of being judged. I have no idea. They always say everything is fine. Everything must be checked, right? Or worse, energy loss and silence. Women may view their replies as disinterest, emotional incapacity, lack of commitment and avoidance. He's not adept at meeting her expectations for how he communicates emotional processing in the present. His brain works differently. Men's true feelings and behavior. Method 1. Service-related actions. A man who cares about you emotionally will help you around the house. Change your oil, carry your groceries, and solve other difficulties. This may seem like a plea to be helpful or avoid talking to you, but in male slang, it's a big message. You matter to me. I'll enhance your life. Investing in your health. Create formations by exchanging tasks. Join him in his hobbies, projects, and sports. Masculine language invites you to his activity space with intimate, vulnerable dialogue. The third kind is numerical, covers expenses, and protects you. Discomfort separates you from danger. Feelings are transmitted into macho culture. Numerize 4. Its actual existence ensures its appearance. Spend time with you regularly. Relax and take time for yourself. This activity shows emotional commitment. Fifth form. They show you their family, friends, and community when they show you their world. It covers important parts of his life. That is, male susceptibility. Daring others to evaluate him. Most important to him. How can we cooperate with it instead of resisting it? Strategy first. Learn their love language from behavior and respect it. Avoid dismissing their attempts as insincere or avoidant. Expression of actual feelings. Your thoughtfulness in simplifying my life means a lot to me. Therefore, I appreciate his fixes. This validates your writing. Supporting him as he connects uniquely. Plan phase 2. Use commonalities to bond. Instead than just talking about emotions, share experiences. Making a multi-course meal together. Improvement/total construction project. Active hobbies they both like. Having fun while learning or solving problems. Men share secrets. Emotionally, as is common in collaborative work, especially when working side by side rather than face to face, which may create curiosity. Third, quantify an emotive discussion. Do more than say how you feel about us. Your distance when discussing future aspirations has been noticeable. Anything in particular worry you? Could we solve it together? The second way gives men a plan and a solution they can process. I understand. Fourth strategy. Avoid saying, we need to talk about this now, and give people time to process information before large conversations. Please, we must discuss something important. While can we meet tomorrow night? While we're both free. Is everyone comfortable? Men can ponder things thoroughly before expressing their feelings. Complex. Mental mysteries. Productive involvement requires commitment, not autonomy. This misperception causes unnecessary tension and relationship failure. False cultural narrative. Society promotes the idea that a man's desire to combine shows his commitment. He spent all his free time with his lover, shared his deepest thoughts and feelings, and considered them his world. Per this belief, a man's desire for solitude, personal space, or different interests through friendships indicates that he isn't entirely committed, has one foot in a relationship and one foot out, and is likely preparing to end it. Psychological reality, but relational psychology shows otherwise. For long-term commitment and health, men and all people, but especially men, need autonomy and connection. Here's why men have always been linked with autonomy, agency, and independence. It's not just societal conditioning. Evolutionary psychology links masculinity to the ability to give, defend, and succeed despite obstacles. When he believes a relationship is threatening his autonomy, sense of self, and ability to pursue interests and goals independently, a guy experiences a visceral existential terror response. This response is dangerous and unknown. Early in a relationship, partners spend a lot of time together and bond. He instinctively wants to rebalance his time and space in the second stage. Lack of interest or emotional detachment may occur in the third stage. Phase 4 involves increasing time, attention, and safety needs. In the fifth stage, he sees a bigger threat to his autonomy and withdraws further. Under pressure, he withdraws more in phase 6. He wants room or self-discovery after phase 7, the partnership. Lovely paradoxically. I have it. That changes things. Men feel autonomous in relationships where they feel protected and don't have to decide. In a relationship, he can commit more fully because he is no longer defending his identity. Now, he can relax. In perfect harmony, knowing you'll always be yourself. What does this secret mean for its use? Reference number for application. Whether you're staying late, going out with pals, or doing a hobby, you must manage your time. No one else. I like the sound. Enjoy it fully. I'll handle your separate event. I would love to spend that time with you if you were interested. But is it okay? In envy, second application. Look after yourself. Robust. Don't prioritize yourself in everything. Maintain friendships, hobbies, goals, and personal time. Respect their need for privacy. You are a fascinating person living your own life, not a prop. Make an impact that lasts. Application number 3. Show him your appreciation outside of romance. I admire your contagious passion for what you love. Describe your project precisely. This shows you value him outside the relationship. A numeric application. He responds well after time alone or with friends. Are you okay? Your expression is serene and vital. This strengthens good relationships. Recharge better during downtime. Relational self-image. Continue with the remaining mysteries. Third, a psychological secret. Giving, not receiving, makes men fall in love. This secret is incomprehensible. Intuition for most women, and strangely the strongest. The normal female belief. Most women believe that showing a man how much you appreciate him, being engaging, entertaining, sexual, and always there for him emotionally and physically will make him fall in love with you. Everything makes sense. He will understand if I give him something valuable. As a valuable person, I shall captivate him. Additionally, this is partially true. You must be a good person to qualify. Despite an initial spark, most people don't understand men's psychology. Men build powerful emotional relationships and long-lasting affection by giving you. A lot of psychological research supports this. Commitment. Principles include effort justification and commitment escalation. The more we put into something, time, energy, money, emotional effort, or even crime, the more we value it psychologically. Because men notice this more. Throughout development, men have been expected to supply, defend, build, and achieve. This showed manly respect for significance and purpose. It involves trying for important things. Men's psychological architecture of this is important, this is engaged when they invest a lot of effort into a relationship, whether it's fixing your problems, enhancing your life, winning you over, or overcoming difficulties to be with you. Most women make the fatal mistake of wanting the relationship to succeed. She manages everything. In her love to him, she never stops cooking, cleaning, and solving his problems. Concerns, provides steadfast emotional support, puts her own needs aside, meets his sex requirements, and never asks him to do anything for her. She'd rather not bother him. She believes he will comprehend how much if she does this. My great companion, whom I love, the truth about his mentality, instead of becoming attached. He takes it for granted. She says because she doesn't need him, she's less emotionally committed. The relationship is simple and it's less valuable. She will eventually become bored and look elsewhere without violence or superficiality to get things. This does not mean men are abusive. Unnatural or difficult things go deep into one's psychic foundation. Easy things don't evoke the same emotional response as hard ones. Compare the cost of a fancy gift to a hard-earned item. Your time to buy. Both are economically similar, but the second is more symbolic. Why? Because it represents your financial commitment. Give me instructions for using the secret. The first app lets you pursue, which is ideal for first relationships. Taking time to organize, start, and advance a connection isn't worth it. Give him a chance when he attempts to set up dates, catch your attention, figure out how to meet up, and prove he's interested by doing the proper things. This does not mean relaxing or playing with mystery. It means he can participate in a fair effort exchange. Problem solving is his second use case. He can help with some issues, but not all, though some strategically. I need something. Could you help me with something? Please know my gratitude when you do. Unsure how I'd survive without you. It awakens your worth and purpose. You're improving. That evokes strong emotions. Application number 3. Try to be a valuable woman. Keep going strong. Limit availability. Never stop putting money into yourself, your dreams, and your future. This is being a valuable person. It is not manipulating. Authentic, which necessitates immense sacrifice to cultivate in one's life. Men value their stuff. Strive for upkeep. Reference number for the app. Make a fuss and give your investment some love. Make sure to give yourself credit anytime you do something worthwhile, whether it's fixing something, solving an issue, or sacrificing time split by energy. Your initiative is much appreciated. It changed my game. More convenient. I appreciate your consideration. She appreciates my investment. Strengthening our relationship. We must value this relationship. 5 applications. Never overwork a relationship. Avoid being everyone's hero. On his behalf. Address all his issues. Follow his mother's lead and become his therapist. He cannot make a two-way investment. A healthy relationship has 2 ways to invest. Absolute dedication. The message that nearly all women, 97%, fail to understand. On this page, I will answer your question about actions that cause widespread confusion, including the relevant part. If a man caresses you softly in places other than your privates, like your hands, shoulders, or forehead, particularly when the context isn't sexually provocative, its significance? The assumption that the majority of women hold mistakenly. Many women ignore them or think they're cute, but insignificant compared to words or emotions. The fundamental reality of psychology. In non-sexual circumstances, particularly during regular talks, your hands, forehead, and shoulders express enormous message through nonverbal masculine language. The most crucial thing, safekeeping and tending to. Specifically, a kiss on the forehead as a sign of significant protection. Second meaning, you are under my care, I protect you, and you are precious to me. Bonds of passion that go beyond the tangible. You can feel it when a man kisses you in a non-sexual manner and in a non-sexual context, like while you're watching a movie, waking up, or even when you're cooking, demonstrating love in a way that does not include sexual desire. It suggests a genuine emotional bond. Vulnerable tenderness is the meaning of the number 3, as a form of self-expression. Showing physical affection is crucial for many guys. Being soft makes one susceptible. Men show tenderness and let down their guard. Only do this with someone you emotionally trust. The meaning of 4, to assert gently. These expressions have a positive, you are mine aspect, marking her caring. Kindly, not possessively. 5th meaning, communicating when words fail. Relatively easily. Keep in mind that men react emotionally. His kisses convey, I love you. Your importance to me is immense. What you do when words fail and someone utilizes these gestures. Smile and touch the hand or cheek instead of dismissing the gesture as trivial. Very awesome when you do it. No more. However, being silent and receptive shows you're listening. This reinforces their character. So one might express deep love. Secret number 4 in psychology. Respect is more vital than love for males, which are different. This secret is the most important and controversial for longevity. Relationship. Female comprehension bias. In a romantic relationship, most women want to feel appreciated. Their soulmate always loves, respects, and accepts them. This brings happiness and joy. Relational. You also assume guys have the same needs hierarchy. According to surveys with hundreds of marriages, men want respect, not love. Remember that these notions are different. You value verbal and physical affection, emotional affirmation, and unconditional approval, which matches male psychology. Fundamentally, they differ. Love says, I accept you as you are. Your flaws don't change my affection. You are valuable to me no matter what. Respect says, I admire your abilities. I trust your judgment. I value your opinion. I see your competence and strength. Why? Is respect central to male psychology? Historically and evolutionarily, Is it a male value within a group? It was linked to competence, the ability to provide, protect, and resolve problems, gaining respect from other men. A man's sense of worth, consciously or unconsciously, is still deeply tied to feeling competent, capable, and respected for one's abilities. When a man feels that he is not as respected by his partner, especially in his area of expertise or in decisions divided by judgments that take, it activates a deep psychological wound that is more painful than a lack of affection. Common ways in which women unintentionally communicate a lack of respect. Form number 1, constant correction. When driving, no, take this route, it's faster. When he's fixing something, no, that's not how it's done, let him show you. When he tells history, no, it wasn't like that, it was this other way. Although each individual correction may seem minor, or only helping with faxes, cumulatively communicates. I don't trust your competence. You are not capable without my supervision. Number 2, comparison with others' men. My friend's husband does things. Why aren't you like that? My dad, always behavior. Should be more like him. Your friend earns more divided by its more romantic. Divided by is more quality. This directly attacks their sense of value and relative competence. Form number 3, dismiss their solutions or perspectives when you offer the solution to your problem. You don't understand. It's not that simple when giving an opinion about something. Well, it's actually more complicated than that, although you might be right. Objectively, dismissing someone communicates a lack of respect for their ability to understand or contribute. Formally, for public criticism or in front of others, correct it. Criticizing or mocking him in front of his friends, family, or especially other men are one of the most devastating forms of disrespect in the male code. Men who respect their partner can forgive many other mistakes. Men who constantly feel disrespected, they eventually shut down emotionally or leave the relationship, regardless of how much love they receive. How do you communicate respect? Genuine? Strategy number 1, ask for their opinion and genuinely value it. What do you think about the situation? I value your perspective when you give your opinion. There wasn't one. I've thought about that. That's a good point. It communicates that you value their judgment. Strategy number 2, trust in his areas of expertise. If he is responsible for something, finances, repairs, specific decision, trust in its handling without micromanagement constant. I trust your judgment on this. Strategy number 3, defend him in social situations if someone criticizes or belittles him, even jokingly. He's actually very good in this area. I'm grateful to have him. This shows you're his ally, not a public critic. Strategy number 4, you acknowledge their efforts and achievements. I truly appreciate how hard they work. You work towards a goal. I'm impressed by how you handled the situation. Specific recognition of competence is a powerful way to communicate respect. Strategy number 5, it allows them to make decisions without undermine. When she makes a decision, especially when you ask her to make, support her even if it's not exactly the one you would have made. If you constantly undermine their decisions, they'll stop making them, or worse, they'll resent your input. Lack of respect. The difference this makes is that a man who feels genuinely respected by his partner is a man who he commits more deeply. He is more generous emotionally and materially, and he seeks pleasure in serving his partner. She is more emotionally vulnerable. She remains loyal even when the relationship faces challenges. Respect is fuel that fuels a man's capacity to love deeply. Psychological secret number 5. Male attraction is visual and visceral first, emotional and intellectual later, and both layers matter. This secret generates there may be immediate resistance from many women because it might sound superficial or reductionist, but understanding it when done correctly, it is liberating and empowering, not demeaning. Common resistance. Many women, they want to believe that valuable men are primarily attracted to personality, intelligence, inner qualities, that physical appearance is secondary or irrelevant to evolved men. And when it is suggested that physical attraction, it's important for men, a defensive response is, so they only care about appearance. They are superficial, the nuanced reality. The truth is more complex and less offensive than it initially appears. Layer 1. Attraction, the initial impression, is predominantly visual and physical. For most men, not all, but statistically the majority, initial attraction, what captures attention and generates interest in getting to know women, are predominantly visual. This is not a conscious choice or moral superficiality, it is neurological architecture. Male brains are wired to respond intensely to specific visual stimuli. This has clear evolutionary roots, related to the selection of reproductive partners. But here's the crucial point. Initial visual attraction. Alone, it opens a door. It doesn't maintain a relationship. It doesn't create love. It doesn't generate long-term commitment term. Layer 2. Sustained attraction and love require emotional connection and intellectual. Once the door is open, initial attraction, what determines whether a man stays, falls in love, commits, is a completely different second layer of personality. Character, values, how you make him feel respected, capable, appreciated, emotional and intellectual compatibility, qualities such as kindness, humor, authenticity, and strength. How do you handle it? Conflict, stress, life challenges, your ability to be a genuine partner in building a life together. A helpful analogy. Think of visual appeal as a cover. An attractive cover makes you take it off the shelf and consider reading it. But the book's content determines whether you will. You finish it, you love it, you keep it forever, and you recommend it to others. Saying that appearance doesn't matter is like saying book covers don't matter. Objectively, they do affect which books. We initially examine it, but no one argues that a pretty cover makes a good book or that a book with a simple cover could be a masterpiece. Why does this matter practically? Implication number 1. Initial presentation, it matters. In context where they are getting to know each other, dating apps, social events, presentations, your physical appearance, how you dress, groom yourself, present yourself, effects it will significantly affect whether you capture initial interest. This doesn't mean you have to be a supermodel. It means that present yourself well, wear clothes that fit well, take care of your appearance. Hygiene obviously maximizes the chances of initial attraction occurring. Implication number 2. Maintain effort in appearance matters during a relationship. Common mistake. Many women, they put in a significant effort in appearance at the beginning of the relationship. Then, once the relationship is established, they stop making that effort altogether. While understandable, it's work to maintain, and it has an impact on continuous male attraction. Not because he is superficial, but because part how your brain is wired includes responding to visual stimuli. Maintain some effort, but not an unsustainable level, in principle, but something reasonable. It also communicates, I still care, I want to attract you. I value this relationship enough to make an effort. Implication number 3. But never don't confuse initial attraction with love or commitment. A man can be intensely physically attracted to a woman, and not to love her, not to respect her, not to want a future with her. Physical attraction, without other layers, are superficial and temporary. If a man is with you only because of physical attraction, and nothing develops between them, then so be it. Without a genuine emotional and intellectual connection, the relationship will not last or will be deeply unsatisfying. How apply this knowledge wisely? Application number. Invest reasonably in physical presentation, not from a place of insecurity or thinking that only appearance matters, but from understanding that it's not the only factor, but one in attraction. Find your level of effort that is sustainable for you in the long term and makes you feel good about yourself. Application number 2. Simultaneously, invest heavily in other areas. Develop your personality, emotional intelligence, character, humor, authenticity. These are qualities that create lasting love and commitment. Application number 3. Evaluate if a man can see beyond the physical layer. If after a significant amount of time, months, a man is still relating to you, primarily on a physical, sexual level, without genuine interest in getting to know you deeply as a person, is a sign that they lack the capacity or interest to connect with you on a deeper level. This doesn't mean you're deficient. It means he's not a suitable match. Application number 4. Don't use physical attraction as the only recourse, a fatal mistake. Some women, understanding that men they respond to visual cues, try to maintain relationships solely through physical attraction, being hypersexual and focusing on purely on the surface. This may hold attention temporarily, but it never creates deep commitment. Man, a quality person seeks a complete partner, not just an object of physical attraction, understanding the male language of love. What seems trivial is profound. And now let's solidify with a general framework for understanding male love language, which encapsulates these secrets. What women typically think is a declaration of love, a verbal, I love you, frequent, deep conversations about feelings, elaborate romantic expressions, attentiveness, constant emotional expression, verbalization of future commitment. What they really are deep declarations of love in masculine code. Sign number 1, long-term behavioral consistency. Not occasional grand dramatic gestures, but small, consistent actions over months, divided by years. Responds to your text reliably. Appears when it says it will. It will appear. It maintains its commitment even when it's inconvenient. It includes you in your everyday life, not just special occasions. This is a man saying it through his actions. You are a priority. Constant, not a temporary whim. Number 2 sign. Investment of resources finite within you. Time, money, energy are resources that man has in limited amount. How you choose to invest them reveals priorities. If you consistently invest these resources for yourself, prioritize spending time with yourself over other options. Spend money on your well-being divided by happiness. Invest energy in solving your problems. This is a statement of profound value. Number 3. Integration into their world. They introduce you to important people, family, and friends. Close friends, colleagues. They include you in important aspects of their lives. They want your opinion on significant decisions. This is male vulnerability. He's risking being judged by the world. Choice and is opening up private parts of her life. Number 4 sign. Protective and nurturing behavior. Even symbolically. Walks on the side of the street, facing traffic. Makes sure that you arrive home safe. She gives you her jacket when you're cold. She pays for things, even if you both have money. You or these actions may seem outdated or minor, but in masculine terms they mean, I take on the role of protecting and providing for you. Serious for me. Sign number. Plans that naturally include you. This doesn't mean we have to sit down and plan our future together, but you will be part of them. We plan to meet an important person at one of our events there next year. Future discussions of ours and us are welcome. 6 signal. Please advise on a major decision. Ask for advice before changing careers, moving, or buying a big-ticket item. Actively communicating with input. Your opinion matters to me. Here you are, making decisions that affect us both. 7 sign. Change your behavior to meet your demands. Your enjoyment and comfort are worth changing my behaviors if I try to meet your wants and preferences, not perfectly, but noticeably. This is macho dedication at its best. Do not if you want to test a man's dedication. Their advice is vital. But don't just listen. Watch their behavior over time. He is consistent, involves you in important elements of his life, and invests little in you. His disposition is protective. Always includes you in future plans, considers your opinion while making big decisions. It changes to meet your needs. He may say, I love you more, but you have a committed spouse if most of your reactions are positive. Usually no. Even if a man says the correct things, he may not be there. Turned over. Total structure. How might men be approached with empathy rather than anger? After learning the 5 secrets, use this integrated framework to improve your relationships. Best integrators know their language and can teach it. Stay true to yourself. Processing and expressing emotions, and learning to speak his own language and recognize others. Create emotional bonds through shared activities rather than face-to-face conversation. The face. Consider their actions love confessions when you want to express it. After waiting for him to talk, softly and non-judgmentally educate him the value of verbalizations and emotional interactions. I feel closer to you when you share your feelings. Integrating the second principle. Honor their balanced preferences. A deep bond. Promoting independence. Promotes long-term, healthy relationships. Feel intimidated by personal space, time alone, or separate interests. It helps one stay genuine to oneself, which strengthens relationships. Third, integration principle. He can invest, but not alone. Allow and encourage his investment in you. Time, effort, problem solving, and supply. Avoid one-sided relationships. A good balance matters. His big investment reflects his value for you. You give and receive with gratitude, investing reciprocally in your own way. Integrating principle 4. Respect is not their goal. Communicating respect for their skills, judgment, and viewpoint does not mean